Then I have to go back and see her in December. So that'll be another day off. And then we'll be into the new year, whatever that's going to entail. Do the bit on the right, just drive over somewhat. It's not like I really need to hit this thoroughly. But yeah, you look there and you can actually see the planting textures. So things did get done, yeah. Things did get seeded, it's just that it didn't make any difference. Okay. So now I should just have straight up lines. See my tyre tracks in the crop. But the crop's fairly flexible and young at the moment, so that's not going to injure anything long term. I'm trying to think what else I've been looking at. There's not a whole lot been happening this week. As I said, looks like lots of new seasons of regular TV shows dropped this week. Not that we watched that many, but lots of them did. Interesting. So, if I expand that a little, stick with the round one, how about that? I did figure out that by switching to that, you can actually see more of the map, see what's going on. And I keep forgetting that. Looks like there's little bits of orange patches on the field that aren't getting covered. But we're overlapped slightly, so I don't see why that should be, unless there was an absence of, well, we're using the crop sensors, so we are planting where there is crop. And potentially there may be some patches of unplanted or not germinated, which is going to result in patches of not fertilized stuff. If it doesn't germinate, then, or it's destroyed by hail before we got up this morning type of thing, then there will be patches of crop that don't get seeded. But see, over to the right, there's a little dot right level with where the tractor is now, right on the edge of the dark green. And then there's another one slightly ahead of that we're coming level with now. Don't see reason why they should not have received fertilizer. At least it's not obvious from the mini-map. I'm not seeing any losses in density or missed planted area or anything like that, at least not obvious. But that's a thing. Still, that's okay, I think. Jump there, jump there, jump there. Another bit over on the right again. Now, some of those were right on the end of the boom, but still, they should still have gotten fertilised, so I don't know what the deal was there. No, train again. And it is 9/11, May 1, year 3. Like I said, I did do a lot of contracting on Sunday afternoon last week. Oh, whoops. And that's typically I'll set workers off. I'll drive to the field, I'll set a worker off, and then I'll do something else. I'll lie down, I'll watch YouTube videos or whatever, and leave the computer running for 3 hours while it does a huge contract. If I do this bit, turn around and do the top, run all the way down to the bottom here, and then the sorghum field just starts here and wraps around, so that'll work out okay. And saw that Tom Pemberton started his corn maize silage, and he's run out of space because they got a rather large crop this year. He also did mention that he's getting a new straw or hay bale storage barn, and I guess we'll see how that works out and whether he ends up putting tiny cows in it, because he needs lots of new sheds and he doesn't have the space for them all, and he doesn't have the money for them all, so they just sort of happen, and then the most demanding thing currently then gets put in that shed. Looks actually looks like I can do the next bit just manually. Don't need to guidance steer this bit. Then let's do this bit. Ugh. Been watching Gamercop doing his European Truck Sim series. Not exactly, what would you call it? A relaxing driving experience. He does tend to drive a little bit crazy, not look where he's going and what have you. But his sort of goal, I think, for the series appears to be, I'm going to visit everywhere in Europe. So he's using fast travel to travel between cities in order to take loads to cities that he's never been to, or take loads through cities he's never been through. Both are an option. Okay, actually we go straight up here. That's kind of good. I have turned that off. Fortunately, there are absolutely no impediments for driving across the field. So let's get this guy. Just fold that, we just fold that. So engine on, foldy. And we can just drive across the bridge into the next field. Set this guy off on the next one. And then if this guy finishes this one, I can put him on the cornfield because that also needs done. So back here, crop sensors are still on. Let's see if we do get, turn that on. Now sorghum does not need as much fertilizer as corn. Now that's a good thing because we'll be able to go further with the load that we've got. But, it doesn't mean we drive it any faster. So we can see the corn very dark green. The wheat is also a fairly dark green. It's not as dark as the corn. However, it may be bad dirt over there, which means that you don't put as much fertilizer on the bad dirt as you do on the good dirt. And we know we've got a strip of good dirt down the middle of that cornfield. And then the sugar beets, they may use about as much fertilizer as the sorghum is. Anyway, can I turn the little map on so I can see what I'm doing? Yes. So, sell the wool, wait till, was it June or July for the soybean sale? What I might think about doing is transferring the soybeans down to the rail yard and then holding off selling them until it's time to. Depending what happens today and how long it takes me to do all these jobs, I may end up shipping them down to the train yard off stream, and then next stream we can sell them. Should check. What are we doing? Weather. So we're planting in May. June is barley. July is the wheat harvest. So we've still got 2 more months till wheat harvest. July. Soybeans is July too. Okay. So I might not have an awful lot to do in June. However, we'll have to see about that, because obviously there are things that happen in June and July and May. We didn't have a lot of jobs on the board this morning, but that doesn't mean that there won't be more jobs May 2, May 3. So So we'll have to see how that works out. Also been watching, what's his name? YouTube channel A Leopard's Tale. He's building a model railway called Leopard Street. He's decided to convert at least some of his trains to KD couplers. And he demonstrated a tool I didn't know I needed. Now, you can buy additional useful implements from KD, KADEE. One is a coupler height gauge, which you stick on the track, and then you make sure that the couplers at the end of each car is the same, is the correct height. So everything is the same height, so everything is reliably couples and stays coupled. Problem with the tension lock couplers, which are the hooks and the rings, is while they're supposedly standard, if you get Hornby stuff couples reliably to other Hornby stuff, but may not couple as reliably to Bachmann stuff or Rapido stuff or whatever. So if you manipulate them so that both the hooks hook over the opposing ring, then you'll get a reliable connection. Well, you'll get a somewhat reliable connection. They still have issues. So unless you have just a Hornby layout or just a Bachmann layout, or all your trains are run by manufacturer, so you have a train that is purely just Hornby stock and another one that is just Bachmann stock, you can have issues. But as I said, if you replace all the couplings with something that is standard, whether it's magnetics or KDs, or just replace everything with Hornby couplers, then you will have reliable connections. Now, obviously, the downside is that costs money. So KDs are, replacing all your stock with KDs is not exactly a cheap way of doing things, but it gives you a reliable connection between all the cars and locomotives. So, as I said, you've got the height gauge, which you stick on the track, and then you eyeball that the coupler on the wagon, car, whatever, is the correct height for that. The other thing is what looks like a jeweler's tool, which is basically missed that. It's sort of a pair of pliers, but one is a cylinder. One head is a cylinder, and the other one is a sort of half pipe, if you like, and that allows you to bend metal into a loop. The KD couplers have little loops on them, and depending on your stock, they could be a little bit too low to clear the track, and I'm having that problem. So I've ordered this set of pliers because I didn't know I needed it, but once this guy on Leopard's Tale demonstrated both the height thing and how this set of pliers work, it's like, well, I have that problem and maybe I should buy myself one. So I have a set of pliers on order so I can adjust the couplers so that they do clear the tracks where you've got a turnout. So that's a thing. That's about the only thing I've actually ordered for the railway this month. I've got a wish list on Amazon that Mrs. Osa knows about, and I think she bought me something this week because I put anything for the train I put on a train wish list, and every so often, especially now, you've got Amazon Prime Day or Black Friday or whatever. They have sales. So she's like, oh, one of your things is on sale. Shall I get it for you? It's like, well, you can do. I probably don't need it right now. What was it? It was... Oh, it was... 10-wire ribbon cable terminators. So I can make my own 10-wire ribbon cable. You put the terminators on the end of it, then you can plug it into a ribbon cable socket. So yeah, I don't think I've got the ribbon cable, and I don't have the connectors yet, the breakout board, but I do now have the terminators, and I will need to get some ribbon cable soon, because the connectors I've got on order will be here within the next few weeks. Delivery is any time from Monday to 2 weeks Monday. So not exactly I think they're sending them by carrier pigeon. Anyway, that's on its way, and we need to keep moving. Thank you. How's the... Well, it looks like the old... what's it is still running. Weeder is still doing its thing. We have 22% fertilizer left in the tank, so that's good. So I probably have to take this back over to the pickup. I'm not sure whether it's worthwhile taking this over to the pickup or bringing the pickup over to the field. Probably easier to take it over to the pickup. I can't remember how many. Probably have to take the seed off the little trailer. We'll just ship the wool down to town on the little trailer. Reminds me, I don't know. That's rollers. What little trailers do I have? See, I think that might hitch to the back of the pickup. Not sure. Category miscellaneous. No, that's not a thing. Animals. And we have trailers up here somewhere. Semi-trailers, low loaders. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be... See, there's things like that. We've got that one. That one does not hitch to the truck. Oh, we made it to the end. So while it would be good to have some things that I can haul with the truck, I don't have any right now. And there are things that used to be available, Farm Sim 19 and 22, that you could put on the back of a pickup truck. But they weren't brought over to 25. I think some of them have come back as mods. So, and I don't know how many of those I added. I think there's flatbeds, no. Low loaders, no. Semi-trailers. But, yeah. Cotton transport, grape trailers.